Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. It looks like Nigel Farage and Reform are about to go to court. Farage is set to launch a legal challenge on the government's mad decision to basically abandon elections. No more elections, They're calling it a delay, but really what they want is no more elections. Because if there's elections, Labour lose. If there's no elections, they stay in power forever. Yay. More than 5 million people in 4 regions across the south and east of England won't be able to vote for their new mayors thanks to the government's move. Now, the government is trying to say that the delay was necessary because, local authorities needed more time to merge as part of the process and the reforms to give the regions more power. Merging them does not give them more power. That is bullshit. Merging them is actually a removal of power. Don't listen to what the government are saying. They want to merge the councils so as to strengthen Labour's grip. It's if you have smaller councils with more discrete constituencies, then a lot of them will become Tory or Reform. Whereas if you have larger ones, then those Tory areas and Reform areas get subsumed into a greater socialist area, and therefore you lose control. So it's bollocks and bullshit from the start. But then they don't want these mayoral elections because they know Reform are going to win them as well. It's nothing to do with it being a challenge and new areas. It's fear. Well, Mohammed Zia Yousaf, Director of Policy for Reform, described the government's actions as a blatant attempt to stop the big wins of Reform. We all know this. And so, and we absolutely know it because of the Reform win on the YouGov polls. So that's there. The polling is all there. So it becomes obvious that this is just fear from the government. And the Labour are planning to cancel even more votes, possibly, over and above the mayoral ones. And so they have to be challenged. Now, I do think, personally, that there needs to be a law put in place saying that no government can cancel an election. Elections are sacrosanct and must take place, and any government that proposes challenging them has to go to a referendum. Let's see how that works out. But a lot of people against that. There's even people in the Labour Party starting to feel a bit embarrassed about this. They're speaking up. But they know that they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose these votes. But if they think delaying it for 2 years is going to change the outlook, well, they could be right. Because the real reason they're changing it for 2 years and not, say, 1 year is that in 2 years' time, they're changing the voting system. Whereas if it's only a year, it's going to be the same voting system as now. So why not change it for a year? Oh, well, no, because if it's a year, your Reform is still going to piss all over us. 2 years, we might have a chance. It is so obvious, so blatant. We are going and marching into a single party state where dissent will result in basically jail, where there will be no elections, or if there is, there's only one party you're allowed to vote for. And as I said, they're moving to ever increasing larger regional powers because it's easier to control, isn't it? Oh yeah, look, there's a Tory area over there. Oh, they've got a Tory mayor and they've got a Tory council. Well, let's just subsume that into this big socialist bit, and when the votes come, there'll be no Tories. That's exactly what they're doing. They think we're stupid, but we're not. I think I think we're moving ever closer to a revolution in this country, and I, for one, would certainly stand on the barricades. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks very much. Bye.